Welcome back to Ploughman's Backyard, where we are living in the garden, literally in the house. So this is your grow kit update from the dollar store. So all these plants, most of them came from the dollar store, but not all of them. But I'm just going to point out what has worked fantastic and what has taken a bit longer, but they all seem to be doing really well. And I'm going to let you know that I have been super happy with them. So if you're thinking about getting the grow kits from the dollar store, I'd say go right ahead. Look at the cucumber plants. We had to, so they came with 4. So I've got 4 cucumber plants here that are actually starting to grow cucumbers, believe it or not, in the house. You can see that the cucumbers have started to grow, which isn't really a great thing. So I had to start these a little bit earlier than I normally would, just so you could see how they grew, so you could plant them yourself. Anyways, we got 4 cucumber plants. They've done super well. There is some discoloration on them. Again, it's way too early to plant your cucumbers, but this was just a trial to see how they did, and they're doing fantastic. We had to separate them because we grew all 4 in one container, and we had to divide them up into other containers. Not only that, but we had to give them a little bit of fertilizer just because they're getting a little bit too big for their pots, and I do need to upsize them. So making sure they've got nutrition is really important if you're starting them early like I did. If you're thinking like, how are you going to be fertilizing your plants? Usually what I do is I add Epsom salts, Calphos, manure, worm castings, making sure that I've got vermiculate, a good pro mix garden mix. But hey, if you don't have any of those things on hand, or maybe you don't know where to get it, you can actually go to our Amazon link. I'll leave it below, and you can pick up some fertilizer, which is a pro mix fertilizer. This one is organic based, tomatoes, vegetables, and fruits garden fertilizer. It's a liquid form. You don't need much, just add it to the water as you're watering your plants. This is a great option if you don't know where to get all the amendments for the soil that I have. So this is a great option for you if you need to fertilize your plants. If you don't have time to always be upsizing your plants, go ahead and pick some of this up. We've checked it out. It's not a miracle grow, so you don't need to worry about those nasty chemicals or anything like that. This is like an all natural fertilizer. So it's got nitrogen, it's got phosphoric acid, potash, and organic matter. That's all that's in this. And if you are unable to get it online at our Amazon link, you can also go to your local hardware store and pick some of this up. The other thing that we have is I started a couple weeks ago the oregano. It's coming up, but it's really slow, as you can see. The next thing that we started right off the bat, if you remember our first video, was our strawberries. And they have taken a lot longer than the other plants, but they are growing fantastic, and there is a lot in there. So what I'm going to be doing is dividing them up and putting these in my raised beds. And I've actually left these right in the soil that it came with, so I haven't transplanted them at all. I don't think I'll have to until I get them outside. The other thing that we have is the pepper plants. This is the pepper plants from the grow kit itself, and I believe we had 4 or 5 of them, and this is how big they've grown. So there's still a couple weeks left until I can put them outside. So I'm quite happy with the size and the timing that I did plant these. Now, the pepper plants, along with the tomato plants that I've grown, we have had to upsize them a few times because they do require a lot of nutrition, and the soil that was in the grow kits wasn't sustaining their nutritional need. We've got some tomatoes. These are the tomato grow kits, and I believe these are the mini tomatoes. So these would be the cherry tomatoes. And as you can see, they're doing really, really well. Transplanted them a few times, and I actually need to upsize them again. And making sure that they get a lot of nutrition, a lot of nitrogen, and if you need to fertilize them, you go right ahead. Because again, basically the seeds that came in the grow kits are pretty much the same as you're going to get at the store. So there was nothing wrong with the plants itself. I would say the soil was a great way to start the seeds. This is our parsley from the dollar store grow kit, and we have 4 or 5 of these. This one's a bit smaller, but you can see the parsley has done super well. We love parsley. We're really happy with that. We have about 4 of the basil. Now the basil, oh man, I could smell it. Oh my goodness, it's so, oh, I love basil. Who doesn't love basil? Anyways, this is discoloration on my part, not anything to do with the seed or the plant or the grow kit. I need to upsize this, just because it's getting a little big and it needs a little bit more nutritional value. Plus, I could have had it a little bit too close to our grow lights. So that's on me. But I would say, you know, if you're thinking about spending, you know, the $3 that it takes to get the grow kit, I would highly recommend it. The money that you're spending on the grow kit, it's well worth it. You get to keep the pots for the following year, which is awesome. I picked up another one because, you know, I didn't have it and had to have it. I picked up a lavender, so I haven't even started this one yet. And it says easy to grow, anyone can grow it. And I'm gonna back that up and say it is true. Even if you have a backyard garden or even if you have a balcony garden, go ahead, pick some of these up because I know you're gonna be super happy with them. I hope you've enjoyed this, and look at this, I'm in my glory. It's greenery, it's almost time to plant, and these turned out great.